Welcome to Molkom, Sweden and Immortals 2022 Winter Grip Wars. We are about halfway between Stockholm and Oslo, an hour or so from the Norwegian border. And as you can see, we are surrounded by lakes, rolling hills and typical Scandinavian forests. It may look beautiful in these ideal condition clips, but it's winter, it's harsh, it's cold, and sun in the morning might still mean deep snow in the evening. Either way, we are not really here to admire the town or the nature, cause when regular strongman equipment is freezing over, we are heading inside for some hardcore grip challenges, brought to us by the organizer Team Immortal Strength. But before we do that, let's just take a quick moment to give some background to the sport of grip, like who are some of the big names internationally. Well, we've got the great Odd Haugen from Norway that helped popularize the sport back in the early 2000s with his Rolling Thunder World Championships and later through the Vice Grip Viking competitions at various fit expos in US. He's still going strong at a young age of 72 here with a Rolling Thunder lift at the All-American Armlifting Championships back in May 2022. Competing against him here was 10 times UK shot put champion Carl Myerscough. This guy is huge enough to be called a true giant, and right now there's not anyone that can beat him. Here we see him doing a double overhand axle deadlift of 232.5 kilos. Now there's a lot of other great athletes out there, particularly Americans, Russians and Finns. And there's also a lot of clips to be found of Brian Shaw, Yuji Mufu and others doing crazy feats of grip. On the women's side, well, perhaps best known these days is Gabby Dixon, who made a big name for herself this past November at World's Strongest Nation when she beat a lot of guys in the Hercules hold. She has actually only competed in grip once so far, but as we will see later, that was enough to put herself at the top of some record lists. And I know from having trained with her once last summer that she has the potential to break many more. But if we go back to Sweden then, well, there are a lot of great gripsters here too, as we're about to see, but not so many of them are known to the mainstream public. I suppose the best known feat of grip strength from a Swede is still Magnus Samuelsson's Rolling Thunder World record from 2003 and his Captains of Crush number 4 close from 2004. Now, Magnus has left the sport long ago, but we do have one of the greats that competed against Magnus back in the days with us today. So let's take a look at the competitors. First up, we have Conny Ekholm, a familiar face in the under 105 kilo strongman scene in Sweden. Second place as his best finish, 6 finals in total, and he's also competed at SCL Lightweight, Europe's and World's Strongest Man. Then we have Freddy Wallin, another under 105 athlete with 2 Sweden's Strongest Man appearances and 2 solid 5th place finishes. He's known for always doing better than anyone expects, so it will be interesting to see what he can pull off today. Marcus Ekholm, brother to Conny, and the one that holds the Swedish record in 3 of the events that are contested today. He has competed mostly in strongman, with some mixed placings here and there, but also a bit in grit this past year. Then, one of the greats, Kalle Lane. He's got more achievements than can be listed. 12 times Swedish grip champion, Strongman Super Series and IFSA competitor, 2 times in World's Strongest Man Masters, 7 or 9 times Sweden's Strongest Man finalist, depending on how you define what was a final back in the days. He competed against Magnus Samuelsson on multiple occasions and is still going strong, but he has put strongman on the shelf and is now only competing in grip. Victor Flodman, U90 strongman, and one of those guys that just got that raw grip strength that you get from working with your hands. Then Anna Harjapää. If you thought Kalle had an impressive resume, she is the one that tops him. Europe's strongest woman, amateur world's strongest woman, 3 times Sweden's strongest woman, 6 times world's strongest woman finalist. Well, the list just goes on and on. Never competed in grip though before, and she only trained about 1 or 2 weeks for this event, so it will be very interesting to see what she can do. Next in line, Andreas Petersson, former under 105 competitor with podiums in Sweden's Strongest Man qualifiers and 1 appearance in the final, under 105 that is. More recently 2 third place finishers in Gärdsgårdsserien Elite, which is a Swedish amateur strongman league. Then we got Jimmy Nilsson, an arm wrestler that has dabbled a bit in strongman and now tries on grip. From Norway we got Tommy Kortø, alias the Norwegian Hulk. Absolutely massive guy, probably wider than anyone I've ever met and really powerful, but completely new to grip. Never really had a chance to train any of these events before the competition. Very popular on Instagram and got a huge following there, always posting crazy cool pictures. Then we have Björn Ståhl. He has competed a bit in strongman, but grip is his speciality. Very experienced, he has been competing for years and got some crazy skills to show off for it. Kim Johansson, another grip expert and always a top contender in any competition he enters. 2 times Swedish grip champion and also 2 times Sweden's Strongest Man finalist. Crazy strong in some events and there's no telling how far he can go if he keeps on training. Next we got Ingvar Eriksson, first time competing in any strength related competition, and you got to admire him for challenging this experienced field. Marco Gooding, American football athlete, big, strong and definitely explosive, testing his grip strength in competition for the first time. He brought his friend Steve Holm, another American football player, who is also making his debut in grip, but who has tested on strongman before. Then we have Christer Larsson, one of the bigger guys in this competition. He has one win and several podiums in Swedish strongman shows. Last but not least, Anders Dala Dahlqvist, very experienced gripster and well-known name in the Nordic grip community. He is definitely here with the goal to win today. Let's jump right into the first event then. Gods of Grip 3-inch Saxon bar deadlift for max. Basically this is a steel profile pipe 3-inch thick that you grab with both hands from above and lift to a locked out position. It's a rising bar last man standing event. Starting weight 40 kilos, 5 kilo increments, and competitors can skip weights freely. If we look at the men's records registered on strength results at the time of this competition, we see that Carl Meyersko is in a class all by himself, and then we have Thomas Larsson down in third with the Nordic record. Actually a handful of Norwegian and Finnish result in the top here. The Swedish record by Marcus is a bit further down at 87 kilos, and we can be pretty sure that that will be broken here today. On the women's side we have the great Gabby Dixon in top, who we mentioned earlier in connection with the Hercules hold at World's Strongest Nation. We have the Nordic record by Finnish Maria Lari down in fourth in a list otherwise dominated by American athletes, and actually no registered Swedish records at all. So let's see if we can set some proper Swedish records and on the women's side. Here we jump straight into the first event when Anna is attempting 50 kilos. No problems at all there and good enough for a world top 13 result. One round later we are back at Anna with 55 kilos. We have just gotten started, but this is already a world-class weight, and it should be mentioned that she has never tried a Saxon bar before. But this one seems to be a bit too much, more or less glued to the floor. Still, she goes away with a Swedish record, a Nordic top 2 and a very impressive result. 2 rounds later we are at 65 kilos. All men are still in the competition, which is impressive by itself. And now the lifts are banged off at a furious pace. We saw Conny and Freddy with good lifts before. Now we got Marcus, the current Swedish record holder. No problem there. Then Victor Flodman makes it look easy. Jimmy Nilsson, arm wrestler. Solid grip strength, obviously. And the big guy, Tommy from Norway. Those forearms are just crazy. It will be very interesting to see what he can do today. Next up, Björn Ståhl. While Tommy and several of the others are completely new to the game, Björn has a lot of experience and we'll see how that plays in today. Kim shouldn't have any problems with this and doesn't. Christer Larsson, easy. And last out, Anders Dala Dahlqvist. No hesitation there. Next round then, at 70 kilos, and Kalle is first out, making sure to get a good grip there on the bar before lifting. Victor Flodman then, another solid lift. Andreas Petersson, no hint of being close to max there. Björn then, he struggled a bit at 65, let's see, can he do it? Yeah, I got it. But seeing some stars there after the lift. Ingvar then, would you believe that he has never competed in any strength related competition before after seeing how easy that lift was? Marco made short work of 70 kilos and so does Steve. Now we're at 75 kilos, Conny rips it off the floor. So does Freddy. Marcus follows. Victor securing his grip and up it goes. Andreas, though, lost the grip. Resets. And there goes. Jimmy, looking confident. Tommy getting ready to lift, putting the fingers in the correct position, pinching the bar as hard as he can, tapping into that wellspring of power needed for this kind of lift. But no, it's not even budging. That's too bad. He skipped the previous round also, so he only got 65. Björn running into problems here too, but he did lift successfully at 70 kilos. That's how experience can make a difference. Kim and Marco making short work of this weight. Steve then. No, he got it off the ground, but that was it. So 3 athletes out on this weight, while Christer and Anders progresses to the next round. 80 kilos then. We are getting into very respectable weights now, but it doesn't really show when these guys are lifting. Conny, Freddy and Marcus moving as in the previous round. Now Kalle. Wow, that was fast, very easy. Victor trying to set a Swedish record in the under 100 kilo class. Drops it on the first attempt, but gets it on the second. Now keep in mind that one has to follow the bar to the floor also, it's not allowed to be dropped. Andreas got it off the ground there, but had to see himself beaten. Jimmy here equaling the Swedish record in the under 100 kilo class. Ingvar going for the same record. Can he get it? No. Another attempt, but no lift. He is out. Still, he put in a great performance in this event. Marco running into the same problems here. Not even getting it off the ground. Christer though makes it look easy. 85 kilos then. We're just 2 kilos below the Swedish record now, and you can see that it's getting heavier. Conny gets it up, so does Freddy, but neither of them have the same speed as in the last round. Marcus follows. Hard to say how much is left in the tank there. Victor attempting a new under 100 kilo record, but realizing it's a bit too much for today, instead leaving it up to Jimmy to go for the same record. This is even a world top 12 result in this class. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the bar is responding to his effort. Still, he goes away with a shared Swedish record of 80 kilos with Victor Flodman. Kim showed no sign of slowing down there, and neither does Christer. Anders also joins the group of 7 that progresses to 90 kilos. Now then, can we get a new Swedish Open record by the brother to the current record holder? Oh, it came off the ground, but not much more. Second attempt then. Nope, it's not gonna happen today. It's up to Freddy then. Can he get it? Yeah, wow, that didn't even look close to the limit. Marcus, his old record broken. Can he keep up? No, not even close. So both Ekon brothers are out. Kalle, well, that's how you lift 90 kilos without effort. And I would be surprised if Kim didn't show the same capability. Well, there you go. Christer then. Oh, he nearly locked that one out. Nothing left in the tank there at the second attempt. Will Anders be the fourth to break the Swedish record? Yes, indeed. Another 5 kilos then, and Freddy gets it off the ground on his first attempt. Can he recharge and get it on his second? We saw Victor Flodman do that earlier, so it's not impossible. But no luck for Freddy. He's out and leaves it up to Kalle to push the Swedish record to 95 kilos. And that went so easy, he's even upset with himself for not skipping this weight. Kim follows without any apparent problems, and now Anders joins the club of 3 that goes on to the magical 100 kilos. Now, can Kalle get this and set the bar for the others? Yep, good lift. Now Kim. We are 13 kilos above the old Swedish record. Wow, solid lift, very solid lift. Anders Dala Dahlqvist. Can we get 3 Swedes over 100 kilos? No, not today. But he does go away with a Swedish record of 95 kilos in the under 125 kilo class. 105 kilos now then, 231 pounds. And yeah, up it went. But can Kim really follow now? Well, I don't even know what to say. These guys just keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. 110 kilos, 243 pounds. Truly a world-class result. Let's go, Kalle. You can do this. No! He just couldn't complete the lift. It's up to Kim then. So close, but he didn't have grip enough to lock out. Can he recover and take it on his second attempt? Nah, willpower alone is not gonna make that bar move. I think both Kalle and Kim had expected to make this weight and possibly even a bit more. They walk away a bit disappointed, but they still get to share the event win. Another one that surely must be less than pleased with this performance is Tommy, who ended up all the way at the bottom. Skipping the 70 kilo round probably cost him some points, and I don't think he managed to perform according to his potential here. We'll see if he can make up some ground in the next event. If we look at the records then, well, we got 4 new Swedish records. Women and men open and men under 125 and under 100, while the old open record remains as an under 110 kilo record. The second event, 2-inch Raptor medley, a rolling handle 2-inch or 50mm in diameter attached to a loading pin is grabbed with one hand and lifted to a locked out position. You then bring the handle with you to the next loading pin and lift that weight, and so on as far as you can go. There are 17 weights in total, and competitors can skip every second weight if wanted, but they can't drop back down to a lighter weight. If we look at the men's records, you see that Carl Meyer's Co is in the top at this event too, and then we have Old Haugen with the Nordic record down in third, followed closely by 2 Finns. The Swedish record by Marcus is a bit further down at 72.3 kilos, and we can be quite sure that that will be broken here today. On the women's side we have Sarah Chaplow in the top and Finnish Maria Lari with the Nordic record in second, and again no registered Swedish records. As we see here, this medley actually ends with a world record weight. The initial max time is 90 seconds, but as you progress past certain weights, time is added so that stronger athletes get plenty of time to test on the heavier weights. Once again we start with Anna, and she already manages a world top 8 result there before we even have time to blink. Now on to a world top 5 result then with 53.4 kilos. Yep, that's how you make a name for yourself in the first grip competition you attend. Truly incredible. Now, can she top this with 57.4 kilos, a weight that would be the third best ever registered? It did move a tiny bit there on the first attempt, but she's definitely having some troubles now. But she's not giving up. Can a switch of the hand help? Nope, not this time, but still she walks away with a fantastic result. The Norwegian Hulk and Björn both performed below expectations in the first event. Can they do better here? Björn is already at 63.4 kilos and he rips it off the floor. Tommy follows without any apparent problems. Björn feels confident and jumps directly to a new Swedish open record. If he could make this would be very impressive. Oh, look at that! So he's definitely better at rolling handles than the Saxon. Tommy now then for a Norwegian top 2 result behind Old Haugen. He just looks so incredibly massive as he switches hands. And up it goes. Björn for another lift. Wow, that was very impressive. So he raises the Swedish record 2 times and manages a world top 10 result in the under 100 class in the process. Can Tommy follow, and can Björn take yet another step? No is the answer today, but they both did extremely well in this event. I would honestly be surprised if more than 3 or 4 other athletes can beat this. Now let's see how Steve and Ingvar will perform. After 63, Steve chooses to skip 68 kilos and goes directly for 73. And there he runs into problems. That might not have been the best of tactics. Ingvar gets stuck at 57 kilos. We should mention that there are no split times in this event, only the completed weight matters. So there's no need to rush. Andreas shows the same tactics as Steve and also gets stuck at 73 kilos, while Marco is struggling with 63. Victor is also running into problems at 63, but neither of them are giving up. They are very persistent here, knowing that they would lose a lot of points if they don't make this lift. But how many times can you try before you burn out completely? Victor is looking ready to give up now. What? From out of nowhere he pulled it like it was nothing. I'm not sure anyone understood what happened there, not even Victor himself. Let's see what Connie and Jimmy can do to stir things up. Jimmy got the Swedish record in the under 100 kilo class in the last event, but he would need to beat or equal Björn's 78 kilos here to get one in the Raptor, and I think that would be very tough. They are both going about this at a measured pace, making sure to secure lifts before jumping to the bigger weights. I assume they have learned from the mistakes of those going before them. So they both make 68 kilos, which actually puts them ahead of 5 others who either skipped that weight or didn't make it that far. For Conny, a huge part of making this lift is probably to beat his brother's old Swedish record of 72 kilos. Neither of them makes it though, and that just goes to show how good Tommy and Björn were in this event. Marcus had to watch another one of his Swedish records being beaten at the start of this event, and though it was certainly expected it would fall in the open weight class, Björn actually took it in the under 110 kilo weight class also. So if he wants to retain a record here, he needs to step up his game and equal Björn's 78 kilos. Christer had no problems at all there with 73 kilos, and he goes on to try to equal the new Swedish record, while Marcus is taking it slow and charging for the lift that he possibly thinks will be right at his limit. Good lift there for Christer, even though both he and the referee got a bit uncertain in hindsight. But he got the down signal and the lift. Can Marcus get this now? Yes or no, actually. He did not lock out and did not get the down signal. Freddy and Anders then. Now we should get to see some heavy lifts. Rolling handles or open grip is somewhat of a speciality for Anders, and I wouldn't be surprised if Freddy will do good here too. Both skip 68 and go directly for 73 kilos. No problems at all there for Freddy, and no problems for Anders. Now they choose to go for different weights, and Anders takes a Swedish record like it was nothing. Freddy gets 78 kilos there, and Anders raises the bar again. Wow, that was impressive, and it was even a world top 11 result in the under 125 kilo class. And Anders nearly falls there while trying to get to 92 kilos. Now this would be a world top 5 result in the under 125 class if Anders makes it. But no, they have both reached their limit today. Freddy equaled Björn and Christer, and Anders goes away with a Swedish record. We should mention that we compare all records to what is registered on strength results. If you're watching this and thinking your lift is missing in a particular list, well, that's because the result of that competition then hasn't been added to the database yet. Just head to the website and make a data contribution, and the lifts will go into the record lists automatically. There are always bound to be some lifts missing, but still there are no more complete lists to go by than those available on strength results. So that's what we go by. Kalle and Kim now then. They have both made short work of this medley and are now ready to equal the Swedish record set by Anders. Good lift by Kim, and good lift by Kalle. Now for 92 kilos, a Swedish record and a world top 13 result.
Hej Kalle, nu kör du! Kom igen nu. Med nu!
Kim gets it.
Kom igen nu! Ja!
Kalle gets it, and Kim goes for 97 kilo and good lift. That was a world top 8 result, and now Kim goes for the Nordic record and a world top 3 result.
Kom igen nu! Kom igen nu! Kom igen nu! Ja!
Not this time, but very, very impressive results by both of them nevertheless. Kim comes out on top then, Kalle in second. Otherwise the list looks fairly similar to the first event, with the exception that Björn and Tommy placed way higher here, which then also helped them climb a bit in the overall standings. In total we got 4 new Swedish records. Kim had a go at the Nordic record, and Anna's lift was even a world top 5 result. And Tommy walked away with the second best result registered for a Norwegian. The third event is the Rogue Anvil hold for time. Just grab the anvil attachment, lift it and hold it for as long as possible. The weight is 52 kilos for the men and 37 kilos for the women. Time starts when the weight leaves the floor and stops once it hits the floor again. You can choose to try this out with both hands, still one at a time that is, and your best time will count. It might be a tactical advantage to not fatigue both hands though. Anna and Ingvar are first out in this event. Anna with 37 kilos and Ingvar with 52. And as you can see, 52 is a respectable weight in itself. It's not given that everyone will be able to get it off the floor. The shape of the anvil makes it quite unusual to grab, and the texture makes it quite slippery. Chalk is allowed to be used, of course, as in all events in this competition. Liquid chalk, though, is specifically disallowed. So is tacky, of course, and wrist wraps. Steve is having troubles getting a good grip of the anvil here. We saw Ingvar manage 2.2 seconds earlier. Anna got 21.2 seconds with 37 kilos, which I can say is harder than it looks. Keep in mind that in events like this where you can select multiple weights, a higher weight always trumps a lower weight. So Ingvar's result, even though it was a very short hold, beats Anna. Marco got the best time there for a while with 7 seconds, and then Andreas took the lead with 7.7 seconds. And then Marco took back the lead after switching hands and surpassing his first time. Now let's see what Victor and Jimmy can do. Jimmy dropped it there and tries with his left hand instead. He also goes for a different grip this time with the thumb facing forward. Jimmy got a good time there, but Victor just keeps going as if the anvil is glued to his hand. But we can see the strain on his face now. How long can he hold on? He's totally dominating this event so far. Get those last few extra seconds. 39.2, almost 3 times better than the second best time so far. Very impressive. Now then, brother against brother. Who can come out on top, and can they beat Victor's time? Connie is grimacing and fighting through the pain barrier. Every muscle in the forearm is screaming for him to let go, but his willpower refuses to comply. The seconds keep ticking. He knows Victor's time is within reach now. Just a little bit more and he will pass. And now it's all about extending the lead as much as possible. 45 seconds flat. Who would have believed that was even possible at the start of this event? But will it be enough for a victory? Marcus' time is ticking steadily up. He's struggling, but he's not letting go. He watched his Swedish records being broken in the first 2 events, and now he wants to make sure no one will beat him in this event. 50 seconds comes and goes. 52.4 seconds. That's insane. Can Tommy and Björn do anything to upset these last times? Tommy got only 3 seconds with his right hand, but then he shocked up and is now trying with his left. They both got a similar style here, leaning over and looking like they are seeking out some place of peace where the pain is not felt. 16 seconds for Tommy, not too bad, but he won't be satisfied with that after his great performance in the Raptor medley. Meanwhile, Björn is holding on as if his life depended on it, body and face contorted in pain. 30.4 seconds and he's seeing stars, barely able to stand up. He truly gave everything he had there. Freddy and Christer now then, can they beat the record set by Marcus? Prior to this competition there were no registered record in this event when it comes to hold for time, so everything you see here will in that sense be world records. When it comes to max weight, the Anvil has been contested several times. For women, the current registered record on strength assault stands at 77 kilos, and for men that number is 108.9 kilos. Freddy ended up with 34 seconds there before, the 4th best time so far, and Christer ended up with the 6th best time, half a second behind Björn. Now we reach the big names, those who dominated in the 2 first events together with Kim. What can they do here? Are they as good at hold events as max events? We're about to find out. 30 seconds passes for Anders and he is still not moving a single facial muscle. Kalle is looking solid, but he is grimacing more than Anders. Now the strain starts to show. How long can he keep going? 44 seconds, the 3rd best time so far behind the Ekon brothers. Kalle is closing in on 40 seconds now. How far beyond the pain barrier can he go? He passes Anders' time, he passes Conny's time. Can he reach 50? Can he even go for 52? 52.2 seconds, 2/10 of a second behind Marcus. He's waiting for the official time there. And he's not very pleased when he hears it. It's up to Kim now then. How many points can he collect in this event?
Hold! Left!
37.9 seconds, good enough for a 6th place finish. Coming off 2 event wins, he won't be happy with that. So Marcus takes the win with Kalle close behind, which means that Kalle pulls away a bit in the total standings and Marcus moves up to a shared 4th with Freddy. The 4th event is something you've probably never seen before, and possibly the event that put this competition on the Grip World map. One-handed stone lift medley. 22 stones to lift, or 21 stones and 1 blob to be precise. Grip them from above, stand up and show that lift is controlled, then progress to another one and so on. Attempt them in any order and skip whichever you want. Just collect as many as possible in the end. And similar as in the Raptor medley, the more stones you lift, the more time you get to complete the course. Minimum 90 seconds and maximum 4 minutes. Lightest one starts at close to 8 kilos and the heaviest one caps off at an insane 46 kilos. But it's not all about the weight in this event, it's a lot about what kind of grip you can get. Some stones are heavy but easier to get a solid grip on, while some are lighter and more difficult since you might only be able to use a couple of fingers and a thumb. One thing is for sure, it doesn't get much more extreme than this, but it doesn't get much more fun either. Anna managed 12 out of the 22 stones, which is a really amazing result. You could see the massive obelisk she finished off with there. Steve got 16 stones and Ingvar got 15, both of them managing that 29 kilo massive piece. Marco did really well and got 18 in total, finishing off with that 28.8 kilo beast. Victor did less good in this event and managed only 16 stones, even though he got that big block on the last row. Christer equaled Marco and got 18, and he really made light work of those 2 big ones, but he couldn't get further than that. Now we jump into action as Andreas progresses through the medley and gets his 14th stone. Stone 16 there is actually more difficult than it looks, it's very hard to get a grip on it. Stone 18 goes up without problems. And he got stone number 19, that is a difficult one. Stone number 15 is another one that many have had problems with so far. It doesn't necessarily look like much, and it was placed on the second row, which was supposed to be easier than the third row, but it turned out to be harder than expected. Andreas did not get it, so let's see how it goes for Jimmy. Oh, that was close. Now he moves on to number 16. Remember that here you can attempt the stones in any order, you can skip whichever you want, and you can return again later to try again. He makes many of these look easy. It is hard to relate to how difficult some of these stones are without actually having tried them. Some look enormous but are still slightly easier to lift, and some look smaller but could still be harder. Number 14 is a really heavy one, but he gets it. Now he's back at number 15. He was extremely close before. Can he get it now? Yep, there it goes. So he's got 17 in total. He needs one more now to take the shared lead. He goes for the biggest one. This one is heavy enough to be difficult to lift with two hands. He decides to go for number 21 instead. It is much lighter than the last one, but it's definitely more difficult to grip. These last three stones on the last row, they are extreme. No one has lifted them yet. And the magnesium block goes flying as he tries to apply it. You can see how hard it is to get a grip on it. You almost need to be an experienced climber to figure out where to put the fingers. He sent chips flying there as he dropped it. So 17 in total for Jimmy. Now let's see what Tommy can do. He didn't place as well in the Anvil as in the Raptor, so he needs to perform here and collect some points. He goes through these stones on the first row with ease, but so have all the others. It's on the second row it starts to get difficult. Kalle is observing Tommy carefully from the corner, perhaps planning strategies for his own run. You can see the difference here immediately. This is a big rock, and it has actually caused several competitors problems. No problems for Tommy though, this could be a good run. Keep in mind that there are no split times in this event, only the number of lifted stones matter. 10 stones in the bag, but even if there's no need to rush, you still want to go fairly fast so you get as much time as possible on the more difficult stones. Here you see a perfect example of a smaller stone that isn't necessarily easier. It takes time to figure out how to hold this one. This is impressive so far. He lifted the block and the obelisk there as if they were nothing. I can tell you no one has lifted that one so easy so far. Now on to number 15 then, the tricky one. Wow, this is looking better all the time. 16 stones in about 100 seconds. Now on to the true challenges. He skips the blob and goes directly for the pillar stone. Full control there, and he's up to 17 in total. Now stone number 19. This is one of the most difficult ones. It is not easy to figure out how to grip this one in the best way, and it might be that a grip that works for one person won't for the next. Close, but not enough control there. He is having a lot of problems on this stone and he is wasting a lot of time.
Kom igen nu.
And it looks so easy once he got a proper hold. But now it's only about 20 seconds remaining. Can he be the first to get 19 stones? No, there just wasn't enough time. That's too bad. I think he had the potential to get one more stone at least. He was doing really well until he got stuck on stone number 19. The same stone we just saw Björn lift. So Björn chose to take it as the 9th stone in order, fearing perhaps that he would get stuck there too if he had wasted too much energy on the other stones before attempting it. Instead he got some trouble on stone number 18 and decided to leave that one for a while and go for row number 2, which he is moving through at a really rapid pace.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Now for the troublesome number 15. He's trying to figure out where to get a grip and it's not easy.
Bra!
Kom igen nu.
Kom igen nu.
But there it goes, so 16 stones in total.
Det tar gott. Ner.
Back to the pillar stone then. Can he figure this one out?
Kom igen.
That's 18 in total, equal to Tommy, Christer and Marco. One more stone and he will take the lead. Wow, he got that one very fast. So he's the first one to lift stone number 21, and he decides to try his luck on the monster in the corner.
Kom igen nu. En minut kvar, 4:25.
No luck there, so he will try out stone number 20 instead. This one is 10 kilos lighter than the last one, but it's much more awkward to grip.
Kom igen.
Fan här.
Stone 20 will not budge, so what is left then? It's only the blob.
5 sekunder kvar. Ja, bra. Bra nu.
That's it for Björn, but a very good performance, 19 stones in total. Freddy has been doing great in every event so far, but does his strength in conventional events translate to pinching rocks? We're about to see. He is moving very fast through these stones on the second row.
Ner.
Oh, he changes his mind and goes for the monster in the corner.
Kom igen.
Wow, that was unexpected. It was supposed to be the stone that no one would be able to lift. How about stone number 21 then? Can he figure this one out? Because here it's not only about strength, it's about finding the correct grip. And he gets it too. This will surely be the best run so far. He gets the pillar stone. And number 19. Only 2 more objects remaining, the blob and stone number 20. So this is the one that causes him most problems, and this is also the stone that no one has passed yet.
Kom igen nu då. Kom igen.
Kom igen!
Ta blobben då.
He will try the blob instead, another object that no one has lifted yet. This one is just so awkward. You can keep turning it over and over and lean it to the side, but it won't really help. You just need to pinch it hard enough to get it up. No, so back to number 20. So this actually looks to be the most difficult stone in the set. You can see that he's desperately trying to find another handle. But even if you turn the stone over every which way, you will basically come back to there is only one place where you can put your hand. And the thing is that handhold does not feel natural in any way. That's why he keeps on trying to find another one.
Kom igen nu.
Du har den, kom igen nu.
Sista fort nu bara, kom igen. Där ja!
Kom igen nu!
Oh, and he got it! What an amazing run! So he passed every stone, only the blob is remaining.
Kom igen nu! Kom igen nu för fan! Sluta den och sen upp den bara!
Unfortunately, it does not look like he's even close on the blob.
Lyft den då! Kom igen!
Ja, skrivet.
21 objects in total and a new leading score by a margin of 2. Oh, and Anders is the first one to take the blob. I suppose he watched Freddy's run and the problems Freddy had and thought it best to attempt this one before he tires his grip. But now he's having some problems with the pillar stone instead. It's very interesting to see how different objects fits competitors in different ways. Eventually he gets it. No major problems on stone 19. Can he figure stone 21 out then? Having passed the blob, he's in a very good position here. He just needs 2 more stones to equal Freddy. Yeah, no major problems here either. Stone number 20 now then. Freddy spent a lot of time on this one before he got it. Close, really close there.
Kom igen nu!
Exakt så. Kom igen!
Ta den nu då, den sista!
Oh, and even closer. And that's it for Anders. He got 20 in total, a very good result, but 1 less than Freddy. And look at Kim here, he flips the pillar stone and takes it by the wide bottom instead. And he did the blob just before that like it was nothing. He's gripping all the stones so far in completely unique ways compared to the other competitors. It took a couple of seconds to find the correct hole, but after that it flew up. And that's how you do stone number 20 if you're strong enough. Only 2 stones remaining then. And he's going through the last row in a crazy pace. This one too he found a completely unique hold on. 1 more to go now then. And that's it. We didn't get to see much of Kim in this event because he was so fast. Obviously the stones were not difficult enough for him. We jump into Connie's run as he is fighting with the blob. And he gets it! Strong start on the last row. Pillar stone goes up without problems.
Bottom feed.
Stone 19 takes a little bit longer time, but up it goes. Stone 20 now then. 2 have succeeded and only Kim did so with ease. And he gets it, so 20 stones in total. He's currently equal to Anders. 1 more and he would equal Freddy. Let's see how he does on stone number 21. He is having trouble finding a hold. The thing with this stone is there are so many nooks and crannies on it that you can get a dozen or more holds on it. There it goes. No! He dropped it before he got the down signal. He decides to try the last monster instead. He did lift it a couple of centimeters there.
Kom igen. Ja.
Back to stone 21 then. But the time is starting to run out.
10. 5 sekunder kvar.
20 stones in total, a very good result still. Kalle starts off the last row with the blob. If he wants to keep his lead in the competition, he's gonna need like 21 or 22 stones in total. But he's having some problems here with the pillar stone. He decides to move on to stone number 19 instead. Spends a few seconds getting the correct hold and then he gets it. Stone number 20 now then. Conny, Freddy and Kim has lifted it so far. Absolutely no problems there. How tricky will stone 21 turn out to be then? Well, he's turning it back and forth a bit, trying to get the fingers in the correct positions. And there he gets that one too. Only 4 stones remaining then, cause he skipped some on the second row also before starting the third. Yeah, what do you say? Amazing lift. So it turns out this course was not difficult enough for the very top guys. But I'm sure when the competition is back next year, they are gonna face some much more difficult stones. And now it's only the pillar stone that he had some problems with earlier remaining. Okay, this time there's no problems at all. So 22 stones in total, same as Kim. Marcus is last out since he won the Anvil. And he's got a big challenge in front of him with so many performing so well. He's currently in shared 4th with Freddy, but if he's gonna keep that, he needs to take 21 objects in total. He's moving at a steady pace here, no problem so far.
Kom igen nu.
No problems with the pillar stone either, but he did skip the blob. No hesitation and no problem on stone number 19. Now for the monster in the corner then. If he could get this one, he would be in a very good position. It's not really moving though. And this stone had turned out to be more brute strength than trying to find some special kind of grip. He gives up and goes for stone number 21 instead. This one is almost the opposite of the last one, because here you can find a lot of different grips. And as you can see, as almost everyone else, he is spending a lot of time exploring the different possibilities on this stone. And there he got some sort of hold I don't think anyone else have used. On 19 stones in total, he definitely needs 1 or 2 more to stay in the game. It's not far off. Definitely not far off. The time is running out. This will be the last attempt. It's so close. 1 more attempt then. Nope, only 19 in total. Not a very good result. Kalle and Kim share the win, Freddy in 3rd and Conny and Anders in 4th. Marcus slips a bit and Tommy and Björn have another good event after their bottom finish in the 1st. In the totals it looks similar. Tommy and Björn climbs a bit while Freddy in 3rd gains some points on Anders. And Marcus, who was 4th after the Anvil hold, loses some ground. The penultimate event is the Grip Genie Hilt, which is basically a 48mm pipe attached to a loading pin that you grab with one hand and lift to a locked out position. It's supposed to resemble pulling the sword Excalibur out of the stone, and the event is for maximum weight, and the weight increments are about 5 kilos. If we look at the men's records, the list is dominated by Americans and Finns, and the Swedish record is way down the list. If what we've seen here today is any indicator, we should see that getting beaten by a whole group of people, including probably Marcus himself. On the women's side, well, again, it's American and Finns, and no registered Swedish records. And we know Anna by now. She won't be content just registering any weight as a Swedish record. She wants to get up there in the top of the list. Ingvar managed 72.7 kilos in this event, which actually was better than the old Swedish record. Marco made 77.9 kilos. Now Anna will attempt 81.7 kilos, a Nordic record and actually the second best result registered worldwide. And that's how you break a record without any apparent problems at all. Steve got 81.7 kilos in his last successful lift. And so did Andreas, although that lift was perhaps a bit questionable. Now we are back at Anna at 84.6 kilos, the first world record attempt in this competition. And as you can see, the weight is verified on the scale.
Fan vad lätt det här är!
Kom igen nu! Kom igen nu!
Oh, she was more than halfway
Kom igen nu
there.
då! Kom igen nu för fan! Världsrekord!
Världsrekord, kom
Kom igen
igen!
nu! Ja, kom igen nu då! Allt vad du har!
Kulor!
And I'm not gonna translate what she yelled there, but I think you get the point. So no world record then for Anna, but amazing effort nevertheless. While we are watching lifts at 87.1 kilos and records getting broken, I can mention, for those of you who have been perceptive and have noticed that whenever Anna does any significant lift, the referee is switched to Marcus. That's because the head referee, who has been doing a great job throughout this competition, is Anna's husband, Magnus Harjapää. And for the sake of fairness, they don't want him to referee lift by Anna that would stand as records. Tommy were having some problems there at first, but that was a good lift. So both he, Victor, Jimmy and now Christer has cleared this weight. Can Björn join them?
Här är din! Här är din!
Kom igen!
Very solid lift. Marcus then, he keeps improving on his old PB. No difficulties for Anders. And no difficulties for Freddy. Kim is just warming up. Now we are at 91.5 kilos and there are actually 11 competitors still lifting. That's very impressive. This is a big weight, but apparently not for Victor and not for Jimmy. Tommy then, he struggled a bit on the last weight. And he is unfortunately having problems here too. I still cannot get over how massive he is, and those forearms are insane. He's not giving up without a fight, that's for sure. He got it off the floor a couple of times, but not much more than that. It's absolutely crazy that his lift of 87.1 kilo doesn't place him higher than 11th in this event. 87 is a very good result, even for experienced lifters and especially for someone who tries to implement for the first time. Good lift there by Björn, and he nearly blacks out again. Marcus keeps increasing his PB and the under 110 kilo record. And his brother follows along. Anders does not seem to be anywhere near his max yet. And Freddy manages to hold on even though he got the handle stuck in his pants there for a while. Kim rips it off the floor. And Kalle shouldn't have any problems with this weight either. 96.5 kilos is next. Oh, that slipped out of his hand just as he locked out. Let's see if he can recover and give it another try. No, he realizes he has nothing more to give. Jimmy then. Valiant effort, but no lift. Christer got that one, so he's the first to succeed at this weight. Now can Björn be the first under 100 kilo athlete to get this weight? Wow, he really pushes himself to the limit.
Kom igen!
Marcus doesn't even get it off the ground. Can his brother do better?
Kom igen nu!
Nope, not today. So we've had 5 athletes fall out on this weight so far. Very nice lift there. Freddy follows again and keeps on surprising. Good lift for Kim. And good lift for Kalle. 101.5 kilos and Christer cannot budge it. Let's see if Anders can set a Swedish record and an under 125 kilo record. That still looked easy for him. How about Freddy then? Can he follow yet again? He needs to get this if he wants to have a shot at the 3rd place. He calls it a day, but still impressive lifting. Kim continues to lift successfully, no matter what weight is thrown at him. And Kalle has no apparent problems either, so there are 3 in total that pass this weight. And we jump up to 106.5 kilos, where Anders sniffs some ammoniac to trigger himself before the lift. And that's another good lift, but he looks perhaps a little bit surprised himself. Or was that relief on his face? Kim clears this weight too. Will Kalle follow? No, not on his first attempt at least. Let's see if he can recover.
Kom igen! Du kan det här, kom igen!
Kom igen! Kom igen nu! Kom igen! Lino tryck på lyften! Kom igen nu, den sista jäveln!
Oh, I almost thought he had it there. That was strong to get so close after so many attempts. Let's see what Anders can do at 112.8 kilos now.
Yes, åker vi! Kom igen! Kom igen! Kom igen!
That's it for him today, but he is guaranteed at least a 2nd place in this event. It depends on if Kim can clear this weight or not. And now we seem to have gone heavy enough, so even he needs some extra triggering.
Back in! On the win! Ha!
Yes, still no apparent problems. So he gets his 4th event win. But he's not satisfied with that. He wants to try 128.2 kilos, which would be a Nordic record and a world top 4 result. This would be insane if he could get it after already having done 5 events.
Kom igen!
Nu åker vi!
Ja!
Kom igen!
Kom igen nu!
Kom igen nu!
Ja!
It won't happen today, but it was still an amazing try. And it's hard to say how close or far off he was on that one. So Kim goes away with a 4th event win and Anders takes a 2nd place. Overall, very good results in this event. Everyone attending beat the old Swedish men's record and Anna nearly walked away with a world record. In the overall standings, Kim is starting to catch up with Kalle, only 1 single point separating them now. Anders is still theoretically in reach of the top, but he'll more likely have to battle it out over 3rd with Freddy. A bit further down we see that Tommy slipped from 9th to 11th in this event, even though he actually pulled a very respectable weight here. As for the records, well, there were a lot of them broken and also a lot of guys who ended up on the same weight. Again, Anna's lift is the one that truly stands out here. The final event, one-handed hold for time with an IronMind Go Really grip machine. You can use 2 hands to get it into position, then hold on until the pad between the movable carriage and the frame drops. 52 kilos for women and 82 kilos for men. And for you who are familiar with this machine, you can see that this particular one has been modified with 2 extra loading bars to hold more weight. And those extra bars are counted as 2 kilos. Anna and Ingvar are first out. Anna is using 52 kilos here and Ingvar is using 82 kilos. And as you could see, Ingvar had trouble closing this machine two-handed. Andreas got it up and managed 6 seconds. If you haven't tried this and are sitting at home thinking that 82 kilos doesn't sound that hard, perhaps comparing it to 82 kilo farmer's hold, well, then I can tell you this is much heavier. Multiply this weight with perhaps something between 1.7 and 1.9 and you would get what it would represent in a farmer's hold. We saw Steve manage a respectable 17 seconds there and Anna got 31 seconds on the lower weight. What can Marco and Tommy do then? Well, Tommy is not gonna be satisfied with that, but he still had enough of a points cushion going into this event to stay ahead of Marco, even though Marco managed 10 seconds there. He has been a bit up and down in the events today, with some really good performances and some worse. With his potential, if he just puts in some grip training, I'm sure he will come back much more dangerous next time. And I for one would love to see him compete again. Jimmy and Victor then? Both have been performing really well today, setting several records in the under 100 kilo class, and Victor did exceptionally well in the Anvil hold for time, where he placed 5th. And it already looks like his endurance there translates well into this event. Jimmy is really pushing for a good time here. Nearly 33 seconds, and that looked painful. But how about Victor then? He just keeps going. This is insane. Can he pass 1 minute? That's gonna be hard to beat for sure. But let's see what Björn can do. If there's anyone that has the willpower to go further, it's him.
Anders! Anders! Kom igen, håll!
38 seconds, the second best time so far. Christer got the third best time with 24 seconds. What can the Econ brothers do then? Both placed top 3 in the Anvil hold and Marcus even won the event.
Kom igen!
Kom igen nu. Håll i! Håll!
Håll! Håll i! Håll i! Ja,
Mycket snyggt!
30. Kom igen.
Kom igen då!
sista du gör då, kom igen!
Håll i! Mycket bra! Håll i! Håll!
A nice screaming for them to hold on as Marcus' hand is starting to open. 47 seconds, he's not going to be happy with that. 60 seconds for Conny, a good time for sure, but he did fail to beat Victor. Anders and Freddy then. This could actually be the fight for the third place, but Freddy would need 6 people to get between himself and Anders in order to prevail, and that won't be easy. Or, it looks like Anders is actually in trouble already. That was not a good time, unfortunately, and Anders is not happy with that. There are actually 1, 2, 3, 4... There are actually 6 people ahead of him. So if Freddy beats Victor's time here, he would actually secure the third place. For Kim, meanwhile, it's all about setting a time that Kalle won't beat.
Mycket bra. Håll i nu det sista.
Getting closer to 60 seconds now. Can he actually make it? Wow, that was unexpected. But didn't I say in the beginning of this competition that Freddy always does better than anyone expects of him? Kalle is last out and he knows he has to beat or equal Kim to win this competition. If Kim only gets 1 more point than Kalle in this event, they would end up on the same total points. And since Kim has more event wins, he would then walk away as the victor. There he passed Freddy's time. He's not making it easy for Kalle.
Kom igen nu!
Mycket snyggt. Håll i! Håll i!
Kom igen nu!
Håll i! Håll i! Håll i!
What can I say? Truly amazing. But it does look like Kalle's hand is starting to open up a little bit. 45 seconds, the 6th best time today. Which means that the winner of Immortals 2022 Winter Grip Wars is Kim. Freddy took 2nd in this event, and since Anders ended up in 10th, it means Freddy grabs the 3rd place in total. In the under 110 class, Conny grabs 1st ahead of Marcus, and Björn takes 3rd. Björn then actually weighing in below 100 kilos. It has been an amazing competition with a lot of great performances and a lot of great characters to watch. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you at the next Winter Grip Wars, cause it will be back in 2023, bigger, better and more extreme.